Live from Valuetainment, it's the Mouthpiece with Brady Matthews.
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mouthpiece. I'm your host, Brady Matthews. Holy guacamole, we have quite the show for you guys. Lots and lots to cover. I know Super Bowl is only a week away, but that's okay because we're going to talk about it. We've got storyline on storyline. All right, it's not only about Taylor Swift for this Super Bowl. Right? We have lots to compare with Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady. Are we talking GOAT status? Also, we're going with the NBA. They're finding everybody just talking about the referees. That's annoying. Also, wanted to break down for you guys, Steph Curry is going to be playing against Sabrina Ionescu in the All-Star game, because why not? Because we need that. I'm more of a dunk competition kind of guy, but whatever. But with that said, we have so much more to cover as well. But with that said, let's go to my all-star panel. I couldn't do the show without you guys. Right over here, let me just introduce. Right over here, this is he was a extra on The Sopranos.
Don't worry about it.
He's got his finger on the pulse with everything MMA. Guys, make it nice and loud for Ray Sherwood.
Thank you. Don't go crazy, guys.
And then behind the computer, we have a special guest, Poppin. She's a favorite here. She's a Valuetainment celebrity, if you will. She fills in for whatever we need. We love her. She's a spicy Latina. Guys, give it up for Christy Pradas.
Thanks for having me.
We love you, Christy. But with that said, also we're super happy because we just hired someone that we've been trying to go after for a long time. He runs a 4.340. He's a former NFL wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers, Kansas City Chiefs. He's Hofstra's very own. What did I just say? Hofstra? He's Hofstra's very own. We're so happy to have him here. We're so happy you're a part of our team. Guys, give it up for Chris Mano, everybody.
Yeah, I'm super happy to be here, too. The first one was awesome. Couldn't get down here soon enough. I'm blushing. That was very nice of you. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. I didn't mean to screw up the Hofstra, but it's not
every
every day you say Hofstra.
You screwed up the 40 because 4.3 was a thing of the past.
Of course.
It's probably sitting like mid 4.4s right now.
Of course. I walked into that. That's
Appreciate
my fault.
that.
Or I ran into that. That's my fault,
Nice.
if you will.
It's impressive stuff.
Christy, can we show some of Chris's sexy pictures from when he played for the Chiefs? Pretty please?
Absolutely.
Look at
there he
that
is.
guy.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
get
Thank
him
you
a-
very much. I appreciate that.
Look at that, though. I mean, God, man.
I was flexing for both of them.
I can
Let's
see
get
it,
him a-
yeah. That tricep flex.
Let's get him a skim sponsorship.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you do have nice skin.
Yeah.
dude.
Thanks, guys.
Did you go tanning before that game?
It's as cold as it was the other day in Kansas City. It's the craziest climate. 115 during training camp, negative 25 in January during playoff games.
That's not fun.
Nuts.
No one
So
likes
now
that.
You have no choice but to get. Your skin's gonna acclimate.
For sure. For the people at home, Chris, give them your best game that you ever played, because Ray and I have never played in the NFL, and I would talk about this story if I played in the NFL all the time. I would tell the story no matter where I was, Thanksgiving, dinner, no matter what.
I guess by default, I didn't play a ton of them, so I'm limited in what I've played. But
Just give us a highlight.
just my first time on the field, it was incredible. So I was returning a kickoff. Place is crazy loud. Now, mind you, I played at Hofstra where we had about 8,000 at a game. So I'm in the end zone. I'm looking at everything in front of me, and just suddenly, as the play
Tunnel
starts,
vision?
yeah, man.
Did it turn into like when Rudy ran on the field?
Just like that. It was just like the whole stadium started chanting an undrafted free agent's name, and they picked me up. No, none of that happened.
Yeah, no, they didn't carry you off the field.
They didn't. No,
Oh, they didn't.
If they were going to carry me off the field, it wasn't going to be like that. It was going to be because I got smacked, probably.
Yeah.
But no, it went pretty well.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're happy to have you, Chris. We're so pumped that you're on the show.
Thank you very much.
Because we have a lot of football to talk, and Ray and I sometimes are pretty dumb when it comes to the NFL. So,
Brady, can I just ask you a question?
Yeah,
why
sure.
are you wearing a Celtics hat?
because
Today.
my aunt and uncle are here.
Okay.
Yeah, Aunt Debbie, Uncle Joe. are
We
here.
have a
First
live
in studio
audience.
guest.
Yeah, they came by to
Audience member.
support, and also I'm going to see my daughter this weekend. Her name is Boston. So there you
The
go.
best, Miss Beans.
Miss Beans.
Shout out.
Thank you. Shout out Miss Beans. She's 2, so she doesn't watch Dead Ass Show, but that's fine. It's fine. She's more Paw Patrol. But also, people are looking forward to the Super Bowl, as we all are. I'm super pumped for the Super Bowl. But the one thing that I'm actually really excited about is the commercials. Because who doesn't love a good Super Bowl commercial? And I picked one of my favorites out Christy, can you please play for the people at home our favorite Super Bowl commercial?
It's a sneak peek, right?
It's a sneak peek.
It's airing this Super Bowl.
Uh-huh. It's premiering right now.
Yeah.
I need your help. What? I'm going to propose to Christy.
Again? You proposed last year at the hockey game. She said no. It was on the Jumbotron. Last year. She's coming up the stairs. I need your help. Okay, what? I put the ring in the salsa. You put the ring in that salsa.
Yes, how great is that, right? No, I got it. Huh? What a great idea, right?
It's very romantic.
Hey, there she is. I recognize her.
By myself.
You guys know each other?
Yeah, she fills in everywhere.
And like, you don't even care about this game. You don't even have money on it.
No, I was just making sure that the salsa was in the fridge.
Look, I don't care. You're always just thinking about yourself with you and your stupid friends and your stupid game. No offense, and I'm just done with it.
Hey, relax.
No offense.
Tell me to
So
relax. I'm so done.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
Salsa. Oh. Ray?
We're definitely gonna need more salsa.
Okay, listen, get more salsa. I need you to move because I have money on this game. Oh, and the answer's still no.
Oh.
Okay, come on.
When does Taylor Swift come?
I have some money in the game.
Just get more salsa.
Can I borrow $20?
Sponsored by Mango Salsa, where every bite's a touchdown.
How we doing? Oof.
How long do we have to sit here for?
Who's that guy?
Oh my God. Oh man, that's the best. That's dude,
Nice.
Mango salsa.
Beautiful.
Let's go.
It's actually airing right after the Usher halftime show.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh damn, I didn't know it was going to air, but thanks for the heads up. I mean, how great is that? I'm not a big mango salsa guy, but definitely don't want to put the engagement ring in there because Ray will eat it.
Yeah.
So
Any
have you?
food.
You're engaged, right?
Recently, yeah, well, a couple months.
Would
Yeah.
you ever put it in salsa?
No, never. There's
you ever
too many unknowns.
Christy,
Too
would
many
it throw
bad
you
things could
off
happen.
if T put it in some
It'd
sort
be
of
a little
dish?
weird. Yeah, it'd be a little weird.
What
Something
about your
a little more
favorite taco?
creative. Like, come on now. You don't want to risk putting a ring in some salsa and then having Ray around.
It's
like,
the thought that
not-
counts, though. It's the thought that counts.
Sure.
You don't want to do it on a boat deck.
Yeah, don't do
You don't
it.
want. There's a couple of places you just gotta avoid. Right?
Sure.
Too many YouTube videos now.
All right.
Or mashed potatoes. You can't
But the
be
people
doing
at home, listen, if you've done that before, write in the comments because I'd love to know. And if you have a video of it, we'll show that shit.
Make sure she says yes, though.
Who does?
Make sure it's a video where she says yes. That's
Yes.
embarrassing.
Oh, wow, graffiti.
Ooh.
It's early Super Bowl.
that. Getting ready for the.
We just predicted the winner.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of Super Bowl, let's get right into it, guys. Let's get right into it because I'm curious with your guys' take on this. Are we getting too ahead of ourselves with the Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady in the same category as, say, the GOAT? Are they, because everyone's throwing the GOAT word around. Chris Mano, are you going to break it down for us? Let me know what you think in terms of like, is this too soon? Is this just like, is Tom Brady's legacy already set in stone, or is Pat Mahomes sort of kind of catching up to him?
Well, absolutely not as too soon, but there are layers to it. All right, so stay with me.
Okay.
Through 6 seasons, they don't just stack up comparably. Mahomes actually stacks up favorably with Brady, who's unquestionably the GOAT at this point, right?
Right, yep.
Leads him in win-loss, leads him in playoff win-loss, leads him in AFC titles, leads him in pass touchdowns and picks. Of all the major categories right now, the only thing Brady leads is in championship rings through 6 years, and that could change come Sunday of next week.
Of course.
Right? The thing Brady has over everybody, and this is what makes him so just unquestionably great, is longevity.
Yeah.
So it seems like Mahomes kind of been doing it for a while now, right?
For sure.
He would have to do it another 17 years at this level to do what Tom Brady did.
I mean,
obviously in a passing league, he's set up, if he can do it for the long haul, to kind of make a run at all these records. But I mean, when we thought Brady wasn't going to be touched, and I was right there with you. No, we're never going to see this again.
Yeah.
I mean, Pat's making a run. The first 6 years, about as good as you can get. Right? He came in for Drew Bledsoe when he got hurt. He held down the fort, and then they won it right away. So
So the first regular season through the first 6 seasons, Mahomes 72-22 and Brady
Right.
70-24.
right.
So, I mean,
14-3 in the playoffs for Mahomes versus 12-2 for Tom.
Gotcha.
288 to 167 in touchdown passes, and he leads them in 87 to 69 in picks, where he's throwing the ball exponentially more in today's NFL.
Right.
So that's a big one if you kind of like really dig into him. He's throwing the ball so much more, yet he throws less picks. So he's very safe with the ball, and he's very efficient with what he's doing.
Yeah. Ray, what do you think? You think it's too early to say Mahomes is on the trajectory of Tom Brady, or you think it's pretty dead on?
It might be right now, I feel like, because if you look at Brady's career right now, he aged like fine wine, and he got better.
Yeah, he got better looking, too.
Yeah, you could just see him progressing through the years, and Brady was actually on Pat McAfee's, and he did a Fox Sports analyst, and they asked him, the comparison between Mahomes, and he even said, he proclaims that a lot of his success was from Bill Belichick and going through the improvements moving forward in his career. Now, you want to question, does Patrick Mahomes have that same relationship with Andy Reid to have that progression moving forward in his career?
Right.
It's a solid question to kind of like look into, but I don't think it's out of the picture right now. This, next Sunday is going to be a big test to see if we could start putting that into the GOAT status with Brady.
Go ahead, Chris.
And that's another thing that Pat does have in his corner is Belichick's like notoriously a defensive guy.
Right.
Andy Reid is like a masterful offensive mind.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to have that guy, Andy Reid is about 6 years younger than Bill right now.
Yep.
So he's got he could have another 6-8 solid seasons left, and the numbers, they're going to rewrite the history books. These guys.
Because I was thinking too, because Bill Belichick right now is looking for a head coaching job. Andy Reid's going on his 4th Super Bowl.
Right.
So what does that say? Because I know you said, what did you say, Tom Brady and Pat McAfee?
For the coaching aspect of it, in terms of Brady, having his success was because of Bill Belichick, and Brady holds a lot of his success to Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots.
Right.
So.
But why do you think it's so hard for Bill Belichick to find a head coaching job right now? Because him and Rabel don't have head coaching jobs, and I feel like those guys would be primetime picked off already.
I would love to see Vrabel on New England.
Oh, for sure.
Well, isn't it so interesting? Like, that's been the discussion since Brady and Belichick broke. Like, was it Brady? Was it Belichick? And it's almost like you could see the front offices around the league are telling you what they think, right? The fact that he's not hired.
Right.
What I think has a lot to do with the reason he hasn't really signed on with anybody yet, too, is he's not a guy who's going to come in there and take orders from a GM or a president or anything. Like, where he goes, he's going to be the guy. So he's got to go to a place that's willing to fork over full control. I know the Dallas Cowboys have been kind of like in the papers.
Yeah.
Will Jerry Jones be willing to bring him in? That's something that I thought immediately of. Damn, Jerry Jones is that guy. He likes to have his hand in the recipe. So
of course, but also Mike McCarthy's not going anywhere. Or at least not this year.
I thought he was real close this year. I mean, how many times can you be first seed or 2 seeds and go out in the first round?
I don't know. Micah Parsons says on his podcast, he says, I think that we're going to do everything we can to make all the necessary moves to get to the Super Bowl. And I'm like, what does that mean? Because obviously Dak is not the guy. How many times I got to tell you guys this? He's not the guy. He's garbage. How many times are we going to give Dak a chance?
Dak says...
Also, Mike McCarthy, by the way, I'm sorry, but Mike McCarthy has been to the Super Bowl. I mean, get that. Wouldn't he be like, oh, Dak's not the effing guy? All right, anyways. Sorry.
So upset.
I'm telling you, dude.
It's either that or Chicago. Venting.
What?
You're venting either about that or Chicago.
Listen, we're trying to have a good show. All right, this is Chris's first show. We don't want to screw it all up. Because if you get me on the Chicago rant, I swear to God, I'll clear this desk and we'll have some words. Anyways, I'm sorry. I think I had too much vault. All right, moving on. Whatever. It's fine. We're good. Everything's great. Why don't we talk about Joe Montana in between? Why do we forget about Joe Montana? The guy won 4 Super Bowls.
Prisoners of the moment, man. We're prisoners of the moment in sports.
But
and I think,
like, are we forgetful about Joe Montana? The guy was awesome.
So it's a lot of like, what have you done for me lately in the league? You know the drill. If you 2 or 3 years, you're forgotten. But in the way the game has changed now, I think a lot of people's assumption, and this goes for every sport, is that the guys back then weren't playing against the same kind of freaks as they're playing against now. It's like you got to take that into account.
So you're saying that they were all slow back then?
I mean, guys like me were playing corner, so I mean... What?
But you know what's funny, too, is back in the day, guys were like, at halftime, they were drinking like a 6-pack and having a couple smokes.
Smoking cigs, yeah.
And then heading back out.
Yeah,
the guy smoking a cigarette, kicking a field goal.
They had side jobs. Like when the season ended, they'd go back and do construction.
Yeah, they were cutting the field's grass.
Yeah, it was crazy.
During halftime.
Yeah.
So
they weren't required to escape the pocket and stuff like that neither. It's more times than not, it's the quarterbacks, but some of the photos out there are just outrageous. outrageous.
Yeah.
Tons of fun to look at.
Well, leading into the Super Bowl, I thought you and I were talking about this. How did the roster stack up, you think? Because I know we have another week of Super Bowl stuff to digest, but, let's start chewing on that bone a little bit, because how do you think? Do you think the Niners stack up with the Chiefs? And break it down for me.
Yeah, I don't even I'm big on the idea and the premise of greatness. I love greatness in every field.
Of course,
I'm just enamored by it.
Of course.
These rosters are so loaded. All pros, Hall of Fame level players, Pro Bowlers on both sides of the ball.
Right.
Everywhere. Best running back in the league, best quarterback in the league, best 2 tight ends in the league.
Is Deebo Samuels is he in some sort of Hall of Fame? Is he
is he on a trajectory?
Realm? Yeah, trajectory.
He's interesting, man. Hall of Fame at his position is kind of tough.
But he's stacked. He's built. See him. He's a brick shithouse, dude.
Yeah. Well, look at that screen right there. I mean, Mahomes is on a trajectory to go to the Hall. Kelsey going to the Hall. Chris Jones on a trajectory to go to the Hall. McCaffrey the Hall. Kittle the Hall.
Yeah.
Fred Warner's the best linebacker in football. It's like they are so loaded, and it doesn't even end with the skill guys.
Right.
Like for the real geeks like me who know the rosters and dig in and don't just look at stats and stuff. You can look down in the trenches. You got guys like Trent Williams, who's the best left tackle of his generation.
Right.
Freak athlete if you want to watch him. This guy's 6'6".
Oh yeah,
320.
Oh,
He
Trent
pulls,
Williams for sure. Yeah.
He gets downfield and blocks. The Chiefs got Creed Humphrey, who's a perennial All-Pro at center, which isn't really fun for too many people to watch. But Jason Kelsey's kind of made center cool lately.
Yeah.
So guys, look into everything. There is just all types of talent everywhere. I'm telling you, I think this game is going to pop such a crazy rating, because even if you're a quasi fan, everybody's heard of Pat Mahomes now, right? And obviously there's other things I'm sure we'll get into at some point that kind of supersede the game now for people who aren't really fans that are going to pull them in.
Yeah.
I just think the number they're going to draw is going to be nuts.
What do you think if you have to draft one or the other, Travis Kelce or Rob Gronkowski? Who are you taking to start your team as tight end?
Oh God, see, I'm a big Kelce guy. The way the league's going, Kelce's probably more suited to where the league's going.
More versatile.
No, but he's
Rob Gronkowski. He can catch anything in traffic.
Here's the deal. The reason Gronkowski's not still playing is because every rule has been changed. If you've seen this guy in person, he's like a building with feet, man. The guy is huge.
He is.
So everybody the last couple of years, you don't tackle a Gronkowski up high. So if you watch all his highlights, every play is a defender turning his head and throwing his shoulders from the knees down. And the way football's changed, where you can't hit a guy high, he's bound to get hurt and miss a lot of time, which he did. He's a phenomenal blocker, a way better blocker than Trav. But I think where football's going, where they're trying to gear everything towards the offense succeeding, because in turn that turns into numbers, I think probably Trav for the long haul.
Right.
He doesn't get hurt very much at all. Knock wood, because I love him and I want him to keep playing.
Right, for sure.
But
what do you think? Ray? Who you taking?
Yeah, I think right now in terms
obviously
of
because you're a New England guy.
Yeah. Well,
right.
But in terms of how the league is right now, it's more geared towards speed, and you could see Travis having more speed. Gronk, like Chris said, is built like a fridge.
Yeah.
But he'll be successful in any era.
100%.
Yeah.
He's also had an immense amount of injuries, and that's why he ended his career, early. Unfortunately, some people are human band-aids.
These guys are huge.
And he happens to be one of them.
And that's what sucks about the rule changes. Honestly, it's now you got to pick your poison. Now I can't hit a guy in the head, but I got to dive at his knees, because even if you get hit in the middle of your numbers and your head is facing the other way, it's a defenseless receiver call.
Which also makes it dangerous for people now trying to tackle, because you're going to get kicked out of the game, or two, you're going to get head contusion and all that shit.
The idea of form tackling is like a thing of the past. Nobody's form tackling anymore. You can't do it, because that's under the these guys are too big and too fast. They're even changing drop tackles now, where they're going to start calling them a penalty. And when that starts happening, I don't know how these defenders are going to do it. And that's coming from an offensive player.
Right.
For me to say, you guys are just making this incredibly unfair, offense versus defense, is a wild thing.
Which is even crazier, too, because now when you go to tackle or sack the quarterback, you can't even wrap him up.
Yeah, no, and again,
and that's crazy, because you hit him, and then that could still be a penalty. I don't know.
Body weight falls on him. It's a penalty. Yeah, it's tough.
If you look at the old school highlights geared towards now, you see the quarterbacks like Joe Montana getting wrecked.
Yeah,
the abuse on quarterbacks back then is astronomically. The difference is insane compared to now, where they're scared to even touch them right as they release the ball.
And it sucks, because you could see the guys thinking out there. And that's when people start to get hurt. And that's when the quality of play goes down at times.
Exactly.
Because if you see a guy, I saw a crazy play during the year where Mahomes breaks the pocket and he runs.
Yeah.
And even though he's out of the pocket, so theoretically he's a runner now, these guys pull up or run right by him because they're like, I know this guy's a cash cow for the league. If I smoke him, I'm getting called.
Oh, for sure.
And he's
So
going
it's
to
like-
pop up and complain.
But also, do you think? Let me ask you a question. I'm glad you said that. Do you think there's incentives for these players going in the Super Bowl that are like no one knows about, but like knocking out the quarterback, taking out the wide receiver's legs, as a football player, as an ex-football player? Do they have those side bets and especially going into the Super Bowl that we don't know about?
Well, I mean, look, you remember what's the biggest example of that was Bountygate with the New Orleans Saints a bunch of years ago, right?
Oh,
They
yeah, I
got
forgot
caught.
about that, yep.
Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, was actually putting hits out on guys like get him out of the game and we'll throw you a little extra in your check or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know that they're doing that to that extent. I think a lot of them know at this point, like certain fouls, you get ejected now. Like you're a safety and you hit a guy while his eyes are up or his head is down.
Yeah.
These are things that, I mean, and it's in all sports, man. I know we're going to get into it a little bit later. You're going to take us through. Just the landscape of sports has changed, man. A lot of it is TV rights. A lot of it is keeping the best. But we saw last year, right? Think about how jacked up you were to watch the Eagles and the Niners play in that NFC title game. And Brock Purdy gets smoked in the first quarter.
I saw that.
His backup goes out.
nailed.
His arm was hanging. Like his backup goes out. And then McCaffrey's forced to play quarterback for 2 quarters. And it
so
completely
crazy.
just blew up what was supposed to be an awesome game. And at that point, the NFL was like, F that, never happening again. Now they allow a third emergency quarterback to be in uniform because they can't have that people tune in for good football. And when you got running backs or guys like me back there, it's not good for anybody. And
no, it's not. And also, what makes me upset is like the longevity Joe Montana could have had if he wasn't getting smoked every 2 seconds. John Elway, Dan Marino.
Dude,
all
you're a
those
Chicago
guys.
guy. Gail Sayers.
Peyton
Hey, listen,
Gail Sayers played 8 years at the
You're not a
highest
Chicago
level.
guy.
Bro.
We've never had a quarterback, okay?
but I mean, this dude for 8 years put up such ridiculous numbers, and then obviously his body failed him. And it's because back in those days, all those old backs, man, Earl Campbell's in a wheelchair now.
Oh, for sure.
It's crazy.
For sure. I mean, also you see running backs in the NFL nowadays. Like even like look at was it Chris Johnson from Tennessee, right? Who's probably going to get traded. He's going to go somewhere else because I guess he's just not
Derrick
happy
Henry.
in Tennessee. I mean, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chris Johnson
no,
was in Tennessee though.
Yes, he
Stud.
was. I'm thinking of Derrick Henry for sure. But the guy is a steamroller of a runner. And he's going to go elsewhere. But also, you're going to forget about who he is in probably 2 years. And the guy was awesome during the playoffs.
2,000-yard season a couple years ago.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he was a killer.
Anyways, speaking of being exhausted, you haven't been here. We've been breaking down a lot of Taylor Swift garbage.
Easy now.
You gotta hit the X.
Easy.
You gotta
You're
hit the
talking to a
X,
Chiefs
Brady.
man now. Easy.
We're so tired of the Taylor Swifts. I mean, we're so tired of it. But what is your take on the Taylor Swift stuff? Also, we have an over/under with Malik. Also, welcome Malik to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the
It's
show,
Christy.
Malik.
She turned. No.
Christy changed.
I spawned out of nowhere.
So I'm going to tell you, I am not full-blown Swiftie, but I have converted to not terribly mad that she's here. So here's how my trajectory went. When she first came on board, I was pissed. First of all, I'm thinking of everything from a football standpoint. So I'm saying Travis Kelce's about to be distracted. His numbers are about to dip, and they did.
Yeah.
And I'm so tired of
But also
seeing
he
her
was
every
hurt.
3 plays.
He was hurt.
He missed 1 game.
Yeah.
But so I'm tired of seeing her every 3 plays. But as the season has gone on, I think Trav's kind of gotten a grasp for that uber celebrity that none of us could ever even begin to
He sure
imagine.
doesn't forget to give her a shout out every time he gets into the end zone.
Well,
a heart
his
emoji.
Well, you remember they gave him like the level up package like a month ago. They were like, we're going to give you the best podcast. We're going to give you a couple nice new endorsements.
By the way, his
role.
his podcast went to number 1. No one was listening to their effing podcast.
So-
Him and Jason, no one gave a shit.
Well, so that's what it was. They hooked him up with the level up deal. He signed that deal.
Yeah, he signed that deal, all right.
Signed that deal. Brand new
It
girlfriend.
starts with a P and
But-
and
Bud Light.
I'm not going
favorite.
to say it because
But
You got
so,
2 today?
So now here's where I'm at though. So I was pissed, trust me, but I'm gonna let the dudes that are listening in on a secret. So this is what happened to me. Okay, the beautiful fiance at home. You'll probably hear me talk about her quite a bit.
Yep.
We're trying to get her into the football thing, right?
Sure.
And this goes for I think a lot of dudes around the country. So bear with me for a minute. Where it used to be a bit of a battle to say, babe, there's 2 games here on Sunday. I would love if you'd give me the freedom to watch them. And you might be she's a Latina girl, hard-headed a little bit, beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, Filipino.
But at this point, now I've found a way to kind of, babe, Taylor Swift's at these games. You got to learn about this. And
But also,
suddenly-
okay, I know, and I'm sorry to me to cut you off.
Go
but,
ahead.
I mean, I don't know how old your fiance is, but I feel like the older chicks are over it, and the younger chicks are like all about it.
Well, here's the deal. But now she actually likes football. So like
From
it was
Taylor
just
Swift?
No, it was just getting her in the door. I just had to get her in the club.
Right.
Now she's in the club. She loves
right.
it.
So what are you gonna do if she hates baseball?
I'm gonna.
Where do you go from there?
It's over.
What if Taylor Swift just starts showing up to baseball?
Baseball
You're like,
games.
Get out of here!
Just start showing up at all
No,
sporting
not
events.
baseball.
But let me tell you this though.
There's 162 games, bitch.
But this is on a serious note though.
Jesus.
The last 2 weeks, if you look back 2 games ago, Jason Kelsey shirtless and hairy was the one they kept panning to, so it cut Taylor's time. And then this week, overall, 33 seconds. Not terrible.
What? I mean, you looked at that.
33
You
TV
actually
seconds.
looked that stat up.
Oh, I looked at everything.
That's impressive.
I
That's why you're
study
here.
film, man.
That's why Chris Mano's here. He's
I'm a
checking
film
out Taylor
study guy.
Swift stats.
I'm barely 6 feet and 190 pounds, dude. I'm a film study guy.
Malik, let me ask you a question, and welcome to the show, Malik. Thank you so much. Even though nothing to take away from Christy, we love you. What do you think? Are we just have to deal with the Taylor Swift stuff? Where do we go from here, Malik?
Yeah, I think.
Is she going to start going into other sports like hockey and baseball? You think? What if it doesn't work out with Travis Kelce? She starts dating like Bellinger from the Cubs or something. Now I got to watch her Cubs games.
You saying this isn't going to work long term, Brady? Is that what you're saying?
I'm 100% saying that.
Okay.
Is that because if that's
just needed it
that
on
should be a
wax.
Super Bowl bet? How long do they last? I'm going to go until the Super Bowl's over.
I give it 2 years.
Oh, you
One more season.
How
How
many?
many?
You see longevity with this?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Not like super longevity, but I feel like they got like another year of this.
You think they got another year of this?
Dude,
It's a money grab.
Malik,
it's a money grab.
Malik,
right
don't
now.
you think they're getting to that age though where you can't waste 2 and 3 year clips anymore? Like I got to a certain age where I was like, the playing is done, man. It's just I got to do something real now.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can only be the old guy at the club for so long. You know what I mean?
I guess she will need fresh material though every album, right? So
for sure, yeah. Most of her songs are about breakups, aren't they,
Fat.
Christy? They're mostly about breakups.
fat.
Malik, are you T Swift? Do you ever listen to T Swift at all?
I mean, she has the
That's a
songs
yes.
that's been played everywhere that
a
I
yes.
know, but I mean,
listened
I
it on
don't
the way
play
here.
Taylor Swift.
You know
on my
what's
own.
you know what's terrifying about Taylor Swift is you don't want to know her songs, but you know all the fucking.
Yeah, you have no choice but to learn them. They're played everywhere you go.
It's awful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. I'm not going to sing for you. I was about to, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, like
All right,
I found
speaking of
myself
women,
liking the 22
listen, moving
song.
on, we got a lot of football to digest. We're going to get to it on Monday as well because my boy Chris Mano's here, and he's looking up stats on Taylor Swift. So,
I
moving
like her
on.
songs. I didn't look them up. I just see them.
Dude, don't even give me the. He's like, actually, I can tell you how long the songs are.
I did.
too."
I have a playlist.
Yeah. Actually, cue it.
Cue it. Yeah. It's like I've been up too late.
Yeah. Oh, no, dude.
I got it.
Nope. All right, moving on.
Somebody had to do it.
Speaking of women taking center stage, the All-Star game is getting close for the NBA, right? And we're all so super excited about it. Ecstatic. Steph Curry is linking up with Sabrina Ionescu, going at it at the All-Star weekend. I'm going to give this one to you, Mano. What do we think about this? Do we need this? Why do we need this?
You know, I still, for the life of me, can't get over the obsession with males and females competing and everything. Like, I don't know why they incessantly push it upon us. Here's the deal. Like, from the outside, it looks like, oh, cool, 3-point shootout. This is something that's fair.
Yeah,
but
sure.
you read the fine print, she's going to be shooting from a different line.
Right.
With a different size ball.
Right.
And then she's going to be able to talk crap if she wins.
Right.
But basketball is like defense is where we think these girls probably would have trouble, transferring. But, yeah, I don't know what it is, man. She's going to be using a girl's ball. She's a sniper. Don't get me wrong. She'll outshoot me in 2 seconds. But, yeah, I don't know what the point of it. I
don't get
really
it.
don't understand.
Malik, do we care about this?
No, we don't. But I think it's doing a disservice to women's sports.
I do
when
too.
having
Also,
men and women compete against each
I'm
other.
not watching golf for women to hit off the ladies' tees and the guys hit off the guys'
And
tees.
that's what seems always like the biggest.
doing?
That seems always like the biggest issue here. Like they try to put it back on us. Like, yeah, you just want to hold down girls. I train female athletes. Like I know there's exponential differences between the two, and I'm seeing my girls lose opportunities and lose scholarships and get hurt. So like. It's exactly the opposite of what we're being told we're doing. It's literally a preservation of women's sports. I was able to interview Riley once. She breaks it down beautifully.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is, a preservation of women's sports and opportunities for women and the health and safety of women. It's just crazy.
It is crazy because now also they're adding in for trans people to be
Yes.
into women's sports.
Yes.
So I'm saying if we're going to go that route, let's start with women's basketball. I love layups just as much as the next guy. But you know what? If we can get LeBron in a wig to go dunk from the free throw line, I'm all about it. Put it in the All-Star game. If you want to cook with gas, let's start putting trans people in WNBA.
Yeah, I always
just throw a wig on, and then you just got guys doing windmills, and I'm all about it. I'll go to the WNBA game all the time.
But I always say,
There'll be a ton of highlights.
If we're going for ratings, let's go for ratings.
I always think if you could find like one like conservative leaning like basketball player who's like, you know what, I'm just going to buck the whole system and next year identify as this and go play in the WNBA. And watch him go get off for 85 points a game, 36 rebounds, and unfortunately, someone's going to get concussed. It's probably not going to be him.
Right.
But it's like you need at this point, where are we at? We need something kind of I always say I think it's going to take a decision maker's daughter to get real hurt or to lose an opportunity before someone's like think about like the Obama girls. If those girls played sports and a guy like me who looked like this 8 months ago decided I was going to go throw an elbow on a basketball court and lay out one are the Obama girls, it'd be like,
you're going to jail.
Maybe at that point,
no one lays out Malia.
What's it?
What are the fucker
Except
names?
Hunter Biden. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, except for Hunter Biden. I saw that. Hey, by the way, you can say that here. You can
I?
say that here. Yeah, for sure. All right, anyway, speaking of NBA's gotten out of control. It has, with the fines. It's gotten out of control with the fines because I don't know why we can't. If the refs can have crazy calls against the basketball players, why can't we have voice our options or our opinions? You know what I'm saying? So Anthony Edwards got fined $40,000 for talking back to the ref. My question to you guys is, these guys are trying to make money. They're buying big houses and nice cars. Why is the fine so heavy? And don't you think it's a little excessive for talking back to the refs? Or what's the real meaning behind this?
I mean, honestly, right now, I feel like, at least for players in general, just doesn't even need to be NBA. It's nice to see players standing out to the refs. I feel like there's a lot of different things and aspects for at least refs in general, but we tailor this back into what was our previous episodes too.
Yeah.
Do we think Vegas is involved with some of these calls? Do we think that they're getting paid a little bit behind the scenes before the game? Hey, we'll take care of you if you tag this guy with the call. And maybe that's something to be talked about a little bit more mainstream because no one's talking about that right now.
There you go.
And it's good to see players actually speaking up about the refs.
It's not $250K, but
that's been my fear for a while at this point, when the prevalence of sports betting has never been higher, the officiating has coincidentally never been worse. And that's in every sport at this point. You're seeing clearly 2 or 3 calls where you're like, that's not even close.
Yeah, but even for example, I don't mean to cut you off, but also the Lakers and the Raptors. The Lakers got 22 free throws in the fourth quarter, and the Raptors got 5.
And you know what the biggest worry is in sports, man? Why people love sports versus, and look, I'm sorry, I love WWE too. But why people love sports over like a WWE is because people trust. They trust the outcomes of these games. And when eventually fans stop trusting how these games are going to go, it's going to be a real dangerous slope for these sports to go on because that's what people love about this. And as soon as you start to think, nah, this is rigged, this isn't a fair outcome and a fair result, and bad things start happening from there,
So you think betting is obviously somehow, some way?
Well, I mean, I'm not a big believer in coincidence. I think.
Oh, really?
Sports betting has never gotten.
I'm a huge believer.
Dude, sports betting has man. I think you make your own situations, but if
I don't know. After a while, once you start seeing that something doesn't, if it smells like S and looks like S, it's
that's what I'm saying. That's not a coincidence. That's like it's something that's been put there. But yeah, I mean, look, in every state, the majority of states now, sports betting is flying through the roof, right? And I've never, and I watch sports since I'm 4 years old. I've wanted to do this since I'm 4 years old.
Wow.
And I've never seen so many calls that make me just like, I look at the screen, I'm like, what did I just watch? Like, you're telling me that this happened? And it's every single night there's something.
Yep.
And just, even if it's not true, just optically, it's just bad. It's going to leave people, I mean, look, we're on social media now. I see the word rigged trending like every night based upon some sporting event.
According to your algorithm, and probably from the stuff that I send you.
Yeah, that could be.
It's probably messing up your whole timeline.
You're poisoning me, man.
I'm terrible. I'll believe anything.
Let's put it this way. I think we could all, as an individual person, think of a game or some type of play that we could just relate back to and just go, all right, there's something fishy about that. Every single person can relate to that.
I'm a Chiefs guy, so I hear, for the last year, it's been, Chiefs get every call, the Chiefs get this, the Chiefs get that.
They do get every call, though.
Yeah, but as many, see, this is crazy. We're gonna fight the first day?
Yeah.
So
it's fine.
So
Mahomes gets what he wants.
That's so ridiculous. And I hear that this happens, but the same thing that they got Kadarius Toney flagged for, that the first time they threw that in 30 years, Cheetah did it the next night. Stephon Diggs has done it in a playoff game against the Chiefs since. Marquez Valdez-Scantling got tackled on the 5 in like the most egregious pass interference non-call ever against the Packers early in the year. So the NFL gods giveth and the NFL ref gods take it back. So it's they get some, but they give some.
I get it. I mean, I don't know.
I'm happy to pull them up for you.
I appreciate that.
You got it.
I don't know. I feel like the NBA is just now also, I think it's soft serve ice cream. I really do. Malik, don't you think the NBA has gotten super soft recently? Like, you can't fight. You can't talk back.
You can't play defense.
You can't play defense.
You can't set a pick.
That's true.
You can't box out. It's all soft now.
We miss the old school fights. That's what we miss.
Good thing you said that, Ray.
I know.
We got that queued up. Malik, can you play the first one? Because I miss old school basketball.
I laid you up, Brady. That's what I was doing.
I appreciate it.
Speaking of layups.
Yeah, cue the first one because I want to show people at home what basketball used to be.
This
is what basketball. This is Mano's pick right here.
Yeah, I got this one.
Yep.
This is Draymond Green.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. This is Draymond Green before Draymond Green. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Dude, that
was legal.
Dude, that's 8 seconds into the game. They didn't even break a sweat yet.
Yeah, bro. Look
at Malone's shoulders; they're dry.
I love it. Look at his elbows.
Do you know what that was? That was Malone saying before the game, "I'm about to send a message.
Look at Chuck Daly.
This little guy's not coming into the paint the rest of the night."
I love this move. Watch, the ref literally takes me. He's like, "You're coming back to my house."
Threw him right out of the club. Threw him right out of the club.
Dude, they're so pissed because you just knocked out their best player.
That was 40 stitches, you know.
But imagine that happening now. Like how many people would be watching this?
Oh, it'd be great.
So many eyes.
Yeah, you want ratings.
This is great.
This is fantastic.
Well, and that's what makes the whole who's the best player of all time argument so hard. Like think about a Steph Curry who's 185 pounds going to the rack against Bill Laimbeer.
Oh yeah, you said how many stitches he get?
40.
Jesus.
Yeah, he opened him wide up.
Malik, we have another one. Can we go to the next one? Larry Bird. This is my favorite. This is mine.
And look at 53. He looks like a super athlete, huh?
Mark Eaton's no joke.
Yeah, he was like 7'4".
Yeah, Mark Eaton. Yeah, he was a beast back then.
Yeah, he was. He wouldn't stay in front of anybody today, though.
No, Jordan dunked over Mark Eaton. He made sure that he dunked over Mark Eaton.
Oh, it's a good one too.
This one's fantastic. Watch this. This is old school basketball. This is what you watched back in the day, and you were like,
Larry's probably talking crap right now as he backs him down.
Larry's the best, dude. Watch this, and here we go. And ding, ding.
Yeah,
Whoops. Let's get it going.
The original.
He started swinging immediately.
I heard a little the original ground and pound right here. This is where it originated.
They're putting him in headlocks. By the way, no one got suspended, and no one got a $40,000 fine.
Dude, they don't get thrown out of the game.
Just a double technical?
Look, they're both still in the game.
They didn't even get thrown out of the game.
No, nothing.
Settled it like men.
Totally. That's what I'm talking about. This is great. Yeah.
Do you remember the game when the Knicks played the?
Yeah, there we go.
At him.
Let's go. Let's keep it going.
There's like pre-crazy Rodman.
Look at Rodman.
That's like pre-crazy Rodman. Like pre-wedding dress hair dye Rodman.
It's pre-North Korean Rodman.
Yeah, that was pre-Madonna. Look at Isaiah. Isaiah was such a little shit too. All right, moving on. Next one. This is the best one. This might be the most iconic fight in basketball. This one I love very much. This one's fantastic.
Yeah, this one's crazy.
Hey, don't mind the grainy film because this is from literally the 60s. Look at.
Dude, that was such an egregious
Don't you
wind-up.
love that they didn't have goggles back then? They just had glasses.
It was like the wildest hook
you.
you can throw.
But isn't that sort of like hockey where they disagree on something? Let's scrap it out.
Right.
Let's play the game right after.
Yeah, Malik, you can stop it.
No fines, nothing.
I just think it's funny because where we're at with the NBA is it's soft serve. It really is because, like you said, in hockey, the best part of hockey is when they go to the middle of the ice and they have it out.
They settle it.
That's what.
And then after that, they shake hands, dab up, or they go, all right, well, let's play the game.
But also, that's the great thing about baseball too. Is like, remember when Nolan Ryan was knocking out Robin Ventura?
The best.
Nolan Ryan was 75 years old, and he was knocking out a 28-year-old that ran after
put him in a
mound.
headlock and just pounded him.
He was the best.
We need more people charging the
Can
mount.
we be real as guys? Like
Sure.
my best friend, I fought him. That's how I met him.
Wow.
And we built respect, and we fought at playing basketball, and he's been my best friend for 15 years.
I do respect that a lot.
It's like, bro, he didn't back down. I didn't back down.
Yeah.
Afterwards, we just kind of like, that's a pretty good one, dude.
Yeah, after a while, that's what
Now
draws
we're
you guys close together, and then you fought.
And I know the next time the next time I know there's going to be a fight, at least I know the guy next to me, like he's good to throw.
Right, he's good in battle.
He's good to throw.
Dude, that's how the Romans
For
did
sure.
it. That's how the Romans did it.
Well, you see it in fighting,
lying.
too.
I don't know that.
That's
I
it.
don't know.
Everyone's always dabbing
We weren't
up
in
at it.
togas either, though.
Yeah, no. Yeah, what'd you say, Ray? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, in fighting in general, you ever see, combat sports? Nobody at the end of the fight's like, oh, you suck. Like
Except
everyone's
Paul
dabbing
Daly.
up. Hey, great fight. We have respect for each other.
Except for Paul Daly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Daly, what was that, Josh Koscheck?
Paul Daly hauled off and got thrown out of the UFC forever.
Yeah, that was
15
different.
minutes after the bell.
What'd you say, Malik?
I say, yeah, they dap each other up and hug after they kneed and elbowed each other's face
Yeah, I don't
off.
want to see that. Also, that's another reason why I think basketball's gotten so soft is they train with each other in the offseason. And then, like you said, was it you that told me about Giannis?
We were talking about Giannis
Giannis
yesterday.
said,
yeah.
he goes, I'm not trying to be, cutesy with these guys afterwards. I'm trying to rip their hearts out.
Well,
said, right?
you listen to the great Kobe and the great Michael Jordan and all of them. To them, it wasn't like we're going to train together to be boys. This was clinic tape for them. They're going right back to their notebook and writing down. Giannis loves backing down, can only go to his left. Kobe talks. He's got this great story about when he first started playing. They said, who's the hardest guy for you to guard that you haven't been able to solve? He says Kevin Durant. He said when he first came into the league, Durant had no left, so I just push him left. As his game evolved and he got better every year,
right,
he took away those little things in his game that I used to be able to rely upon to. You think Kobe didn't know? He knew everything about these guys. So you train with a guy and you see him every day. You see who's working hard. You see who's getting better at what. And you use that in your game. And but Giannis is the last of that breed.
Yeah, I was sending you those Larry Bird highlights last night of some of the best trash talking.
You went down
Larry
the rabbit
Bird
hole, man.
I really did.
Tell them about that one. That one was hilarious.
I was hooked. Well, there's another one where Larry Bird. I'll tell you real quick. It was the Olympics. It was with him, Jordan, and Magic. That special dream team, right?
Yep.
So they had these young guys. They had Leitner, they had Chris Webber, and one other guy. So Larry Bird sees them in the hallway, and they go, "What's up, Larry?" And he goes, "What?" He goes, "What's up?" And he goes, "You guys better be ready for tomorrow, right? For practice." So anyways, they start kicking Larry's ass in practice, and one guy goes, "Larry, your jumper hasn't been good since '84."
Oh boy.
That's what he said to Larry. And he goes, your jumper hasn't been good since '84. So Magic Johnson heard that. The next day, they're in the gym. Magic Johnson starts feeding Larry the ball. Larry scored, he said, about 13 to 14 buckets in a row. Mm-hmm. And then in the game, because they play a scrimmage game against everybody before they start the Olympic trials or whatever, he goes and plays against this guy. He scored about 45 points on this kid, and he goes, looks like 84, huh? Oh. He's the best.
He's got that great story about how he walked into the 3-point shootout with the best snipers in the world, didn't even take his jacket off to get warmed up, and he said, Who's coming in second?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Amazing.
Larry's the best.
Made all the better because he looks like he should be like.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of the greats, moving on because I could talk about Larry Bird all day.
Yeah,
I really could. I love him so much. LeBron James, the Lakers, this train wreck. It doesn't seem like it's working, even though they won the in-season tournament, right, Malik?
Yeah, that's
important. Who gives a shit, right? Who cares?
They got a banner up, I think.
But here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm thinking. So I was looking. They said LeBron James thinks he's on the move, and I kind of think they're right. Here's what I think. LeBron James is 39 years old. So far, he's been okay. The Anthony Davis project wasn't that great. They're not doing so well with each other. I mean, yeah, they're a cute combo, but Anthony Davis, his nickname is Street Clothes. It's not a good nickname. It's just not a good nickname. So here's what I think. Here's where I think LeBron goes. I think maybe he goes to Oklahoma because the Lakers have no draft capital. Mano, tell me what you think. You can stop me whenever you want.
All right, so I think a couple of things. Okay. I think, and I've heard a rumor now as of the last couple of hours, LeBron to the Knicks, win a ring, bring it to the Garden. And
yeah, but you're a Knicks fan. You're a Knicks fan.
Yeah, well,
you're saying that because you're biased.
No, so let me finish that.
I don't know. If
you know me, you know I loathe LeBron.
Right.
And
I
don't want my Knicks to break their 54-year drought and let LeBron be the guy who does it. So I'm on record saying, please don't let this happen. Second, if LeBron wants to be compared to those GOATs like Jordan and those GOATs like Kobe and these guys in every sport, they don't change teams 5 times. Every time this guy changes teams, I think it's a hit to his legacy. These guys tough it out. They put roots down in one spot.
But I don't think he was thinking of legacy when he went to Miami.
No, he was.
That's another thing.
I don't think he was.
That's another thing. You're going from Miami to L.A., 2 beautiful places to live. You think he's just going to go to Oklahoma, though?
I think
go from 2 places. Like, come on.
Man,
no, that's going to be his living space. Oklahoma.
Well, they got that kid Gibby, or is it Giddy, whatever?
Josh Giddey. Who
else?
Go ahead,
but also they have a ton of draft capital, so you can give the Lakers a ton of draft capital. You give them that Gibby kid or whatever Giddy kid. You got him, and then now LeBron goes to Oklahoma, and also that Alexander kid from Oklahoma.
They're going to have to give one of them up.
That kid's a stud. He'd be great with LeBron.
Yeah,
okay, but
awesome.
Here's the thing. Hold on. We'll keep this moving. We'll keep this train moving. I also could see LeBron going to Cleveland for Donovan Mitchell and a draft pick. Because why not? Donovan Mitchell only has 1 year left on his contract, right? ship LeBron back to home, and
It's a home
Donovan
team.
Mitchell goes to Cleveland.
LeBron now is not going anywhere where he's not going to be an instant finals contender.
Okay,
he's
fine.
not playing for anything else but that at this point.
So, okay, let me get your guys'
go ahead. Let's hear.
Let me get your guys' opinion on this then. Okay, so the main move that I thought maybe I could only see happening, per se. I know it's not Oklahoma State, but I thought it was kind of sexy to say. Because they have a lot of draft capital. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? Because Lakers have nothing. They have nothing to give, nothing. So I was thinking, what if LeBron goes to Golden State and you trade off Draymond? Because Draymond's a liability now, right? He's lost his mind. He gets in fights a lot. But I was saying you take Draymond, you send him off to the Lakers, and then LeBron, 39 years old, plays with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and they go for one more ring. I think that's their best option. That makes for a great story. I'd watch that. Yeah. Kevin Durant went and did it.
It'll be a legacy team at that point.
Why wouldn't they do that? Because Steph Curry ain't going to be there if LeBron James ain't coming there. You know what I'm saying? He's going to go too because he's no spring chicken as well.
I don't know. I think Steph Curry is one of those rare guys that I think he wants to be tied to one jersey for his whole career. He's Mr. Golden State Warrior. There's never been another good Golden State Warrior till he was there.
San Francisco Warriors, you mean?
Whatever.
No, I'm joking.
But think about the guys who've been in one jersey their whole career, the Kobes, the Jeters, these guys who, and that means something to a lot of these, and Curry's an old school player now. If you think about it, that guy's 35 years old. He looks like he's 24 still. But he's 35 years old now, so he's I think that means something to him, staying in Golden State for the entirety of his career. And his game is going to age gracefully, so whoever they bring in next, I think they like Jonathan Kuminga out there. I think that they see a future in some of these young guys. So I think Steph probably sticks it out there.
Okay.
And I think what is in it for whoever gets Draymond back to give away LeBron James?
Yeah.
What is in it for that team?
I don't know. We'll see what happens, and we'll definitely keep you guys posted because it's a good story, and I think it would be good for LeBron, I guess. Good for LeBron. I can't stand him, whatever. Right. Moving on to the good, the bad, and do we care? Mm-hmm. So, first off, let's go with Chris. You have Dana White.
I got a great good. So, the great Dana White, friend of Valuetainment, he's been going viral lately for a clip. There's this Maine basketball team that just absolutely puts the beats on every team up there. They're killing them by like 80 points every game. Now, if you know the climate we're in these days, that's viewed as unsportsmanlike. So the coach is catching a ton of flack for it. They're going to lose games from it.
It's also a heavy liberal state.
Yes. And Dana White comes to the rescue and says, guys, I love what you're doing. I'm willing to fly you out to UFC fights. I'm willing to fund a new program if they fire your coach, the whole nine.
Right.
Now, me being an athlete, I think about how I would have felt if I was in high school playing against a team of my peers.
Yeah.
And I heard the coach say, guys, these kids you're playing are so bad.
Right.
I want you to not try.
Right.
And in my head, I'm like, I'd rather get my ass beat.
Right.
So just keep beating me senseless for another hour than tell guys who are my age doing the same things I'm doing, just leave. He's weak. He's
I don't
soft.
know.
Leave him alone.
I think with the
so
whole,
I love what Dana White's doing.
I love what he's doing too, and he also said he wants to fly them all out to a UFC fight, and then also he said if they still keep getting penalized, he's going to work with their program.
Yep.
I think that's just that's
Dana
an
White.
A1 move on his part.
Yeah, awesome by Dana White.
My good is Tom Brady. Can you show this, Malik? Is Tom Brady? I love it. Tom Brady throwing dimes. He's still throwing dimes.
Whatever you want, on hut. You ready? Say hut.
Watch this. I would have it. Dude, anxiety attack. Look at it. Cross route. Boom. Do you see that, Malik?
Does anybody think Tom Brady couldn't come back and be a top 10 quarterback?
I mean, dude, look at this. He's throwing a better ball than half the guys in the league. Watch this. Bang. Look at that's Julian Edelman over the middle. That's fantastic.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so great.
Yep.
Tom Brady just throwing dimes. I don't even know where he was. A wedding or some shit, but
Anyone else would be cracking a business guy right in the head.
oh, for
Anyone
sure.
else?
For sure.
Right into the food cart.
All right, let's go right into the bad. Keep this fun train rolling. You have Hofstra football.
All right, so my bad's a crazy one. It's a personal one for me. So I played ball at Hofstra University. Our program was cut about a decade ago, yet our players and our coaches continue to thrive. We've signed 20-plus NFL contracts, and as of this week, there's 32 NFL head coaching jobs in the world, the coaching elite. And two of these coaches, Coach Raheem Morris, Coach Dan Quinn, congratulations on your new head coaching jobs, both former Hofstra coaches.
Right.
What are the odds of that coming from a small Division I school in New York, that 2 of 32 jobs in the world are filled by old NFL coaches, by old Hofstra coaches? And Hofstra University, you cut our program, didn't give us a great answer. That's a bad look, guys.
Yeah, not good. My bad is Michael Bublé on mushrooms at the All-Star game. Watch this.
That's
Watch
bad.
this. This is hilarious. Also kind of fucked up, but whatever. Also, this is something I'd probably do to my buddies as well. Because
you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Don't
watch
worry
this. Listen. Look at him licking his mouth.
My buddy told me this is just a microdose of mushrooms, and he was lying. So, I'll be honest, I thought I was in Blades of Glory for most of the time that I was out there. Until it sort of settled down, and then I realized, holy shit, I am at the NHL All-Star Game.
He's still on another planet right there.
It's refreshing when a celebrity says that, right? Like,
yeah, but also,
he's also unaware of everything.
Right, but you know what's funny is how hard is that you're trying to play normal, but you're so inebriated, it's almost impossible.
What's he doing at the podium, by the way? Like, why is he sitting
there?
His
buddy told him, buddy gave him microdose mushrooms, and he's high as balls.
But I'm saying, like, why is a singer at a podium at the NHL All-Star game? Like, what would he even get behind the table for?
It's a celebrity All-Star.
Oh, a celebrity game?
Yeah, celebrity All-Star
good.
hockey game. Yeah,
no good. It's dangerous, Michael.
I love it.
Dangerous, Michael.
Anyways, on the Do We Care? Ray, did you have a Do We Care or?
Yeah, I was gonna say from what it's transitioned to over the past couple years, even decade, is do we care about the Pro Bowl this weekend?
Oh,
no one's talking about it.
No, Malik, do we care about the Pro Bowl?
No, it's just I don't know what it is now.
It's a skills competition.
Yeah.
Why don't we throw that into the WNBA or something, or like
something like that? Like I don't want.
Why don't we throw Steph Curry in there?
It's transitioned from like
guys play dodgeball.
2 elite squads, the best of the best in the NFL, going at it.
Yeah.
Like seeing them at their full potential. To now, it's what? 2-hand touch.
I miss the days.
Dodgeball.
I miss the days. I miss the days when the kicker got laid out in the Pro Bowl
by Sean Taylor.
Killed that guy. Can you show that real quick?
I have to.
I know.
And while we get to it,
just 2 seconds.
Yeah, the reason now that's what's different too is that the Pro Bowl used to take place after the Super Bowl, so everybody can play. Now your theoretical best players can't even play in it. So yeah, the rosters are severely watered down for sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Watch this. Hold on. Here we go. Watch this. Yeah, this is awesome.
Oh yeah, that's the Pro Bowl we missed.
That's what we're talking about, dude.
That wood.
Yeah, you don't see that in a skills competition.
The Pro Bowl's gonna
look at how pissed he is.
But look at Mormon pop. Hey, can we show? Hey, show him. Hey, Mormon popped up though.
For sure.
He's up off the ground quick
for
a punter.
Bro, even those jerseys were badass back then too.
Yeah.
Everything about that was badass.
And he dapped him up too.
Like,
good on you.
I love it.
And now they're gonna play ping pong for the Pro Bowl?
Yeah,
like, they're not gonna play football.
No, now they're doing like end zone catches on styrofoam pads and stuff.
Skills competition and
garbage.
flag.
Yeah.
Garbage. All right, moving on. This is my Do We Care. They're coming out with. Oh no, what is this? I don't even know what I have right here. My Do We Care is Godzilla vs. King Kong is coming out. Beetlejuice 2 is coming out. I'm like, why stop there? We got Titanic 2. Let's do that. What are we doing? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids again?
Yeah.
Taken 5? Right? Are we just running out of ideas? What do we care about this shit? Right? Who cares? Like Taken 2. Also, stop with the Indiana Jones movies. We don't need them anymore.
Fast and Furious 55.
He got everything. He got everything. You know what I mean? Indiana Jones. Do Indiana Jones and Taken, and he has to go find people now.
We need another Mission Impossible.
Isn't Harrison Ford like 70 years old?
Dude, he's so old. And just put him out there as a hologram.
And Michael Keaton, the original Beetlejuice, is playing Beetlejuice again?
But yes,
dude, that's brutal. He got to have like baby Beetlejuice.
What are they going to do? They say Beetlejuice 3 times. He's like, I'm still here.
If he twists his head around, his neck's going to crack.
He's in a wheelchair.
It's awful.
Yeah,
I'm so over it. That's Chris,
brutal.
what do you have before I blow
my Do We Care? So billionaire Peter Thiel and a group of venture capitalists are sponsoring something called the Enhanced Games. So it's the exact opposite of the Olympics. They're going to sauce these guys to the gills and see what kind of crazy things they can do.
I love it.
So do we care? Because it's not like a legit 40. It's not a legit 100 meters. It's not a legit weightlifting. But do we care about these numbers?
Oh, for sure. I'm
just
all
want to see
for
what
it.
they do.
I'm all for it. And if we can bet on it too, let's rock and roll.
It'd be
fun. Are we betting on heart attack during the competition? Or
at this point, I want to see how far
during
we
the competition
can go.
We're betting on?
What, dude? I want to see them actually juicing up before pregame.
8-second 100-meter dash.
Yeah, it's going to be absurd, man.
For sure. Let's get Usain Bolt on all the drugs and let it ride.
Do you remember NFL Blitz, the game where they used to get injured and then they used to inject the steroids into the players? They used to be hyped up getting on. That's what it is. But you're bringing it into real life.
I don't know what's happening anymore. But that's been our show. I hope you guys had fun. We covered a lot of fun stuff. Anything, Chris, let them know your socials. Let them know how they can find you. Is now a new member of Valuetainment Sports, and we're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Hofstra's very own Chris Mano,
Yeah, I
let him
love
know.
it. I'm so excited to be here. I'm on Twitter. You can reach me at man_O_Steel17, ManoSteel17, big Superman guy. And then on Instagram, which I don't play around with, but I'll get back on it, just straight up Mano Steel.
Okay, great. Your New York accent's so awesome. I love it. Go ahead, Ray. Where you at?
I'm the complete opposite of Chris. I'm not on my Twitter. I got to get back to
I'm
my
in the
Twitter,
same
but
boat.
I'm on
Get
Insta.
back to
it. Ray Sherwood1, you guys can follow me there.
Malik, hit him.
Find me on Instagram at It's Me Malik and Manect, and also don't forget to get you a vault. Don't
Oh, yeah.
forget. Like a
Just
break.
forget.
Yeah, the vaults. They
We're
get you,
all
they get you-
vaulted out right now.
Yeah, they get you
personally.
rocking. My eyeballs are about to pop out. Guys, if you like what you've seen, please subscribe right here on the link below. Okay, or go to Valuetainment Sports. Click on the Mouthpiece with Brady Matthews. We have all new episodes, reels, stories, the whole regalia. Right, and now that my boy Chris Mano's here, you're going to see a lot of him as well as Ray's beautiful face and as well as Malik's beautiful face.
Oiled up.
But with that said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe. Like I said, I've been your host Brady Matthews, and we'll see you Monday.
Woo! The lights. There we go. Let's get epilepsy.